your goddamn scene. It never meant that much to me. It never was that interesting at all. You are becoming obsolete. No one listens even when you scream. It always was so far off key and insecure. And the worst part is you don't know it. You're having the time of your life. You used to be young, you used to be right, so perfect. Well, so was I. Yeah, so was I. It's 8:30, time well spent. I ain't waiting around till then. I ain't waiting around for them. Oh no, a few words, if only you knew. I'm taking pleasure in learning the truth and spending my nights watching you so carelessly. And the worst part is you don't know it. You're having the time of your life. You used to be young, you used to be right, so perfect. Well, so was I.
Take it, let it cut me down.
touch your heart. You're all alone and you know you are. Say nothing matters and call it art. Say what you mean. And I gave it back, my idealized version of the past. My fear that everything's meaningless. I gave it back. And I know it's hard to be alone, but it's harder still to let those feelings grow. Everyone is scared of showing people who they are. I know everyone knows if you let them in, they'll break your heart. You are worthless if you're waiting. Play it safe, yeah, play it cool, while you run away from everything. I don't ever envy you. Everyone is scared of showing people who they are. I know everyone knows if you let them in, they'll break your heart. You are worthless if you're waiting. Play it safe, yeah, play it cool, while you run away from everything. I don't ever envy. I don't ever envy you. I told a lie, God, I told the biggest lie. I made you come over to drive him home that night. Oh, we were getting drunk, and he was getting high. And I lied and said I loved you while I touched her thighs. It wasn't true, maybe it was far from true. find out what went down. Can't keep a secret in this town. Sooner or later word gets around, 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 around. So I got a little drunk and embarrassed myself. It's not the first time, it's not the first time. Thought something would happen, thought you were something else. That was a big lie, that was a big lie. I never really ever meant to be taking everything so seriously. It's not the first time, I should know better, but I guess I don't. I don't know a thing about how you, besides the little fact that I want to. Don't leave me here without you. Tried to make you kiss me, but you wouldn't oblige, so I said get out, yeah, get the fuck out. The whiskey on my breath started to fall from my eyes, just like a rain cloud, yeah, I'm a dark cloud. I never really ever meant to be presenting myself so desperately. It's not the first time, and I should know better, but I guess I don't. I don't know a thing about how you, besides a little fact that I want to. Don't leave me here without you. If I thought it'd make you stay, I would chop off both your legs. But knowing you'd find a way to keep on leaving. But don't leave, 'cause all I want is you to just pretend to feel it. Or I guess I don't. I don't know a thing about how you, besides a little fact that I want to. Don't leave me here without you. I guess I don't. I don't know a thing about how you, besides a little fact that I want you. Don't leave me here without you, without you. Fuck you and your goddamn scene. It never meant that much to me. It never was that interesting at all. You are becoming obsolete. No one listens even when you scream. It always was so far off key and insecure. And the worst part is you don't know it. You're having the time of your life. You used to be young, you used to be right, and so perfect. Well, so was I. Yes, so was I. 30, time well spent. I ain't waiting around till then. I ain't waiting around for them. Oh no, a few words, if only you knew. I'm taking pleasure in learning the truth, and spending my nights watching you so carelessly. And the worst part is you don't know it. You're having the time of your life. You used to be young, you used to be right, and so perfect. Well, so was I. I don't wanna be you, I don't wanna be you, I don't wanna be you anymore. I don't wanna be you, I don't wanna be you, I don't wanna be you anymore. I don't wanna be you, don't wanna be you, I don't wanna be you anymore. I don't wanna be you, don't wanna be you, wanna be you anymore. I don't wanna be you, I don't wanna be you, I don't wanna be you. And the worst part is you don't know it. You're having the time of your life. You used to be young, you used to be right, so perfect. Well, so was I. And the worst part is you don't know it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Christopher from Mansions. I got some questions that were asked to me by various people that I'm gonna answer for you. Thanks for buying this EP, by the way. Number 1, explain the band name, Mansions. Is this sort of an agenda or an end game to what you would hope to accomplish with your music? Multiple giant homes? Pretty much. I don't think there's any goal higher than being rich and having a home that's too big for you. Just kidding. But the name Mansions. One of my friends in high school, his big talent was just coming up with band names that were always pretty funny and things, and he had a whole list of ones that he'd use sometime. And then at one point I wasn't liking the name that I was working under, and thought I'd go for a new one, so I checked out the list, and that one, Mansions, stuck out. Sorry, I gotta get some coffee here. Number 2, your debut EP starts with the phrase "fuck you." That seems like a terrible marketing approach to gaining new fans. Literally, the first thing people hear when they check out your band for the first time is "fuck you." Can you explain the context of that lyric and the meaning or story behind that song? Well, yeah, it probably is a bad marketing scheme, but I guess so is starting concerts by saying "what's up, shitheads," which I've done a couple times, so... the context of that lyric, it was actually the first song that I ever cursed in. For a long time, I'd always sort of censored myself that way. And for me, it was kind of a big moment just letting it loose and just being like, fuck you. Like, there wasn't really another way I could say it. And that song's it's about some certain people and a kind of group of people in general. But it was really where for a while I was trying to be cool and trying to fit in, and I never really fit in anywhere that I was. And so saying fuck you, it was kind of just to all of that, to the whole idea of trying to fit in, and it was just like, I'll just, be me, whatever. So yeah, that's that song. And sometimes, people lots of times when they hear it, I think they either like it and they kind of get, because it's kind of funny too, but then some people are totally turned off by it and stop listening right then, so whatever, it's cool. Number 3, this EP sounds like it was recorded at one of the largest recording studios known to man. Is this true? If not, shock us with the real story. Yeah, it was actually a real tiny studio. Well, not tiny, but it was comfortably small, because Mike Sapone, who produced it, he was one of the coolest people I've ever met. It's like in his house basically, and it was perfect because it was just the two of us. So if we were in some big, like, multi-million-dollar studio, it would have been so uncomfortable, and I probably would have just froze up and wouldn't have played a single note. But yeah, so it's real cool because he knows all sorts of tricks in the space, since it's like his, where like a lot of like the kind of big drum sounds, those would actually be tricks like, putting a microphone in the kitchen or whatever. So it sounded like it was this big space, even though it was small. Working with him was a really big lesson in just how you can accomplish really cool things if you just have cool ideas. It's not about, all this money or resources, even though he did have awesome stuff. So. 4. A lot of the songs on the EP and album, lyrically, seem based on true and extremely personal experiences. Are they based in fact? Do you have to keep some stuff hidden, or are you willing to put anything out there for people to hear? Most of them are based in fact. Not all of them are about me. Sometimes I'm writing from the perspective of someone else, like talking to me, or, sometimes I am talking as me to someone else, or sometimes it's about, some people that where I'm totally not involved in the situation. And sometimes I'll write a song and I'll think that it's me talking to someone else, but then kind of as I live with the song for a while, I'll realize that it's talking to me more. There's a few songs on the album like that, which is kind of cool. It's cool how song meanings can change as you play them for a while. Do I have to keep some stuff hidden? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm always afraid that people will find out what certain ones mean, and, I can lie to cover it up where you're like, oh yeah, you're right, that does sound like that, but no, I really wasn't thinking that. 'Cause yeah, I don't want to put everything out there, but it's kind of the only way that I know how to write, so it'll probably get me into trouble one of these days, but hasn't been too bad so far. Number 5, what is your spirit animal? I'd say my spirit animal might be a sea slug or sea sponge. I can't remember which it was, because I have a lot of anxiety, and someone once told me that even the tiniest sea slug actually feels anxiety. Like, they've scientifically proven it, and that makes me feel a lot better about it. So I think it was sea slug. It might have been sea sponge, but can sea sponges really feel anxiety? I don't know. Number 6, who or what inspires you musically? And you can't name any other musicians. That's a tough one. That's tricky. Musically, Mike Sapone, who did the record, he inspired me a ton. There was a lot of stuff that I just never even thought to try, or that I didn't think I could pull off. But he would just come up with, like, the craziest sounds on guitars. Like, lots of times I would I would have one sound in my mind, and he'd start twiddling with the knobs and go for something totally different. And at first, I'd be like, this isn't really what I was thinking of. But then, we'd start playing with it for a couple of minutes, and it was just like so much better than anything I imagined. He really inspired me a lot, and I feel like the songs that I'm working on, and since we did the record, are just totally, I would not have been possible before working with him. Even there's one song on the album called Millions of Pieces that we had worked on in the studio, but I wasn't really that happy with how it came out. And then so when I went home, I basically made a whole version that Sapone mixed and made it sound awesome, even though I recorded it terribly. But a lot of the stuff I did on that song, which I guess you'll hear on the LP, it never would have even crossed my mind before I met Sapone. He really inspired me a lot. Besides that, I guess books, friends. I don't know. I don't really know why I said books. I wish I read more, but I don't. 7. Other than drums, you played all the instruments on the EP and LP yourself, as well as wrote all the bass and guitar parts. Did that all come together in the studio, or did you have everything kind of mapped out beforehand? Most things were fairly mapped out. I'd say maybe like 80%, which was good because we did the record in like 18 days or something. It was not a lot of time. And I had, a lot of the songs I had made demos of like 4 or 5 times, so I knew them pretty well. And a lot of it just changed by, having different sounds than had been on the demos. But then there was a lot of stuff where I'd have a part a certain way, but Sapone would like sing different parts to me, which is pretty awesome. And we change it, and he got me playing a lot cooler stuff, like a lot of things that I just hadn't considered. And some stuff changed once we started recording it, and like Anthony, who played drums, he would have some ideas, like especially for the bass. Some of the coolest stuff on there I think was his idea. And then even some stuff like when we were mixing the record would be ideas then, like cutting out the bass for a whole section or whatever. So I'd say mostly mapped out, but not entirely. You gotta leave some room for the studio magic. What makes Christopher smile? What makes Christopher weep? What makes me smile? Well, I've got this right here. Makes me smile. My girlfriend got me a espresso machine for Christmas, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. Like, I make it all the time. And now it sucks because I can't drink regular coffee because it just tastes like water to me since I've gotten used to the strong stuff. So that makes me real happy, or smile. It makes me smile. New guitar strings do too. What makes me weep? It does make me weep. I don't know. I go through phases. I've heard some scientifically that there is actually proof for like a male period, but I'm pretty sure that I get that like I don't know. It's like I don't menstruate, but like once a month it seems like I'll just have a few days where I'm just in like a funk and I'll just be sad for no reason, and that's probably what makes me weep the most. It's really frustrating too when you just don't know what's wrong, but I just had one of those a couple days ago. But it doesn't make me weep especially, but whatever. Number 9. A train leaves Boston at 9:17 a.m. and another train leaves Chicago at 10:45 a.m. When they opened the door, the man had hung himself, but the floor is wet, and the doctor was actually the boy's mother. What is your favorite riddle? I like the hanging himself, but the floor is wet one, actually. I'm kind of mad that you stole that, whoever wrote the question, but there was one, man, what is it, where the guy's like, something about being in the woods. This is so bad. I cannot. I always like the orange glad I didn't say banana joke, but that's more of a knock knock joke than a riddle. Number 10. If you weren't doing mansions, what would you be doing with your life? Well, I graduated from college last year with a degree in mathematical economics, which sounds impressive, but it's really just like an econ degree with like a couple math classes. I wasn't really that good at the math part. But so I'd probably be working with that. I honestly, like, it sounds kind of lame, but I really liked it a lot. I would have no problem. If mansions wasn't going on, I wouldn't really have a problem with getting a job doing that, as long as it wasn't totally bullshit. But yeah, I like econ. It's a lot of fun. A lot of the theoretical stuff really interests me. Like I had to write like a thesis in my senior year about. I wrote it on the music industry actually, which is kind of predictable, but because there had been a study that said that peer-to-peer file sharing hadn't actually affected record sales, like they did like all these mathematical like models of it and found that there wasn't a correlation. But so I came up with a way of explaining how that could happen, because it seems so counterintuitive. But I really liked it. It was a lot of fun to write. It's just so dorky, but number 11. Let's say you're in prison for just totally melting people's faces with a guitar solo. What's your last meal? My last meal, I like Stony River steaks a lot. They're pretty fabulous. With some garlic mashed potatoes, or sometimes I'll get French fries because I like having a little ketchup for my steak, which is totally like bad and faux pas, but so sometimes I'll get fries, so then I'll have ketchup for that, and then they won't know that the ketchup's for the steak. There's also this place here in Winston-Salem that's awesome. It's probably, as a whole, it's probably my favorite restaurant. It's called Milner's American Southern. It's good for like special occasions because it's expensive, but it's ridiculous. They have great steak too, and they have these little tomatoes on the side that have like spinach in them and things. It's just so good. But my last meal might have to be Moe's. I really like Moe's a ton. I have to go there like once a week or I get crabby. The one here in Winston is like better than any other ones I've been to. So I'd want to go to the Moe's here. It's cool, like the employees all kind of recognize us because we're there all the time. And I get a Joey Bag of Donuts streaker where it doesn't have the tortilla, with chicken and black beans. And then tons of chips, and I basically use it kind of as like nachos, and I dip the chips in and munch it. Okay, this is the last question, number 12. Roth or Hagar? Man. Fuck Van Halen. I mean, obviously you have to go to David Lee Roth just for like the kicks and the jump video, but I don't know. That's just never been into that. Although Hagar is funny how he has like his own brand of like tequila and stuff. It's just so lame. But I hope I didn't just burn any bridges with Van Halen. But yeah, so that's all the questions. Thanks a lot for watching this. Sorry, it's like 20 minutes long. Thanks for buying the EP. I hope you like it. Now you can get online and say bad things. I'll see you soon in a town near you.